They say marriages don't fall apart all at once, just a few cracks at a time, until one day the whole thing caves in. For me, it started with a missed dinner. Ethan had always been dependable, boring even. We had our routines: morning coffee together, Sunday night pasta, quarterly weekend trips where we pretended life hadn't become so predictable. I never thought predictable was a bad thing. Predictable felt safe. Until one Tuesday night, he didn't come home. He texted me, "Late meeting, don't wait up." That was it. No kiss emoji, no heart. Just a flat, dead sounding sentence. I stared at it for a long time, not because of the message itself, but because it felt wrong, detached, like it wasn't really meant for me. He didn't get home until almost midnight. His tie was undone and his shirt was untucked. Ethan was never messy. He mumbled something about quarterly reports and collapsed on the couch without showering. He smelled faintly like cologne and something else, something floral. That was the first time I felt it, that gnawing in my gut that whispers, he's hiding something. The next day, I checked his location history. He had turned it off. A man who'd never so much as changed his lock screen in years had suddenly decided to protect his privacy. I asked him about it that night, calmly, casually. "Hey, your location sharing is off. Weird bug or something?" He looked up from his phone, blinked, and said, "Oh, yeah, must have happened during the last update." He even smiled when he said it, like I was stupid enough to buy it. I didn't push, not yet. Instead, I waited, listened, paid attention. The longer I stayed quiet, the more careless he became. He started leaving his phone face down, changed his passcode, started getting calls labeled no caller ID that he'd answer in the hallway. And the worst part? He'd still kiss me goodnight, still text me, "Love you," like he meant it. But I knew, somewhere deep in my bones, I knew. It wasn't just late meetings. Something or someone was unraveling the life we built together, and I was done ignoring it. I started keeping notes, quietly, in the back of a half-used planner I knew he'd never touch. Every missed call, every time he changed his clothes before dinner, every client dinner that turned into a silent ghosting until 11 p.m. It was like living next to a stranger who wore my husband's face, but I didn't confront him, not yet. Instead, I started asking questions in that too casual tone, the one men always seem to underestimate. "How's work been lately? Did you end up meeting with that new client? What time did your meeting end?" Every answer came easy, too easy, like he'd rehearsed. But the timelines were loose, the details fuzzy, and I caught something new each time: a hesitation, a delayed blink, a sudden change of subject. He was slipping, and I was ready to catch him. One night, while he showered, I opened his laptop. Password unchanged. I didn't even feel guilty this time. I navigated straight to his email, to the trash folder. That's where I found it. An auto confirmation from a boutique hotel. One I'd never been to. One that was exactly 11 minutes from his office. The reservation was under his name, and the subject line read, "Thank you for booking your romantic weekday stay." The shower stopped. I snapped the laptop shut and slid it back into place just as he walked out, towel wrapped around his waist. He smiled at me, like nothing was happening. That smile made my skin crawl. The next day, I called the hotel, told them I was confirming my husband's reservation. The clerk on the phone was polite, cheerful. "Yes, of course, Mrs. Grayson. Looks like everything went smoothly with their stay last Thursday." Their stay, there. My heart beat so loudly, I was sure she could hear it through the line. I thanked her, hung up, and sat there for 10 full minutes, staring at the phone like it was a weapon. So it was real. Not just flirting, not just emotional, a full-blown physical affair. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I made a second call to a friend who worked in corporate investigations. I don't need dirt, I told her. I just need proof, clean, quiet, and fast. Because I wasn't going to confront him empty-handed. No more benefit of the doubt. The next time I asked Ethan how his day went, I'd already know the answer. The proof came in quietly, an email from my friend with the subject line, "He's yours now." Inside were timestamps, receipts, and photos. One of them showed Ethan stepping into a boutique hotel with a woman I didn't recognize. She was confident, put together, and smiling at him like she'd done it before. His hand was on her back. He looked happy, carefree, not like someone living a double life, but like someone choosing one. I printed just one photo, him holding the door open for her. That's all I needed. That night, I made his favorite dinner, set the table like everything was normal. He came home right on time, kissed my cheek, and complimented the food like he hadn't just been with someone else last week. Halfway through the meal, I slid the photo across the table, face down. "What's this?" he asked, frowning. "Go ahead, flip it." He did, and the color drained from his face. "It's not what it looks like," he said quickly. "Then you're terrible at cheating," I replied, "or terrible at lying. Which one is it?" He opened his mouth, but I didn't care. "I know everything, Ethan. The hotel, the calls, her." He sank back in his chair. "I didn't mean to hurt you." "But you did." I stood up. "This house is in my name. Get your stuff. You're leaving tonight." "Where am I supposed to go?" he asked, like I owed him anything. I pointed at the woman in the photo. "Ask her." He stood there like he didn't know where to go, like the man who had been navigating double lives so confidently for months had suddenly forgotten how to walk. I watched him pace back and forth across our living room, my living room, rubbing the back of his neck, scrambling for sympathy. "You're really kicking me out?" he said finally, his voice barely above a whisper. I didn't answer right away. I looked at him. Not the man I married, but the man he turned into. A liar who wore love like a disguise. A man who kissed me good night and someone else good morning. "Yes," I said, calm, clear, unapologetic. "I messed up," he said. "I didn't plan for this to happen." "You planned hotel visits," I snapped. "That's more than messing up. That's betrayal on a schedule." He reached for my hand, and I pulled away before he even made contact. "Sarah, please. We've built a life, a home. I can fix this." "No, Ethan. You just don't want to lose the version of me that still believed in you. But she's gone." He stood there a little longer before walking down the hall to pack. I listened to the drawers open, the quiet zip of a suitcase, the hesitation in his steps as if he was waiting for me to call him back. But I didn't. I didn't owe him softness anymore. When he finally left, I locked the door behind him, not out of spite, out of peace. I poured myself a glass of wine, not to celebrate, but to mark a transition. From a woman who second-guessed her instincts to one who finally followed them all the way to the truth. In the following weeks, I filed for divorce. Clean, simple, no fault on paper. But I knew the truth. So did he. People asked what happened. I kept it vague. We grew apart, I'd say, or some things just end. Because I wasn't going to give him the attention he clearly needed to feed his ego. He'd lost access to my life and my story. I deleted his photos, his playlists. I even bought a new set of sheets. There's something deeply healing about stripping a bed that someone once cheated around and reclaiming it with crisp white cotton that smells like you. One day, I walked past the hotel he took her to. I looked up at the balcony from the street and felt nothing. Not anger, not pain, just air, space, room to finally breathe. He sent me a message months later. I still love you. I regret everything. I didn't respond, not because I wanted him to suffer, but because I didn't care anymore. His words had no weight. His regret wasn't a currency I accepted. Closure didn't come from an apology. It came from the silence I chose to keep, from the strength I never thought I'd need, but found anyway. He broke the routine, and I built something better in its place,